It's Ring Raps Pep Talk UK. I've got the pleasure of talking with John Ryder tonight. John, how's it going, mate?
It's going good, mate. It's going good. Thanks for having me on.
John, I was looking through the Instagram and I don't know exactly when it was when you wore the Canelo t-shirt in training.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the thoughts behind that?
Mainly just putting it out there, that aligning the stars, false things, and dream it, believe it, achieve it. I mean, initially I bought that t-shirt as a fan last year, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm eager to get that fight. And wearing a t-shirt, I've got a hat in there, I can wear that if it helps it along even more. But got my name out there. And do you know what? It serves its purpose. It's got my name out there, and people are talking about me fighting him. So I've got my name in the hat, and hopefully something good can come of it.
Was you at any point tempted to dye the beard a bit ginger, and then people might have had to double take?
But it has happened in the past, been in the sun and a bit too much exposure, yeah. But
you and Canelo you're not bad doubles, with the square jaws. You're like, if you used to put a bit of red in there.
We might have to do it. If all else fails, you get a job as a body double through me.
So do you know what? Before we get into the serious stuff and potential lineups and whatnot, talking of body doubles, you are two of the most stocky and shorter 168ers out there.
Yeah.
I was looking, obviously, when you fought Callum, anyone with a pair of eyes can see the body types and the ranges are slightly different. And when Canelo fought Danny Jacobs, you can see different things going on. And when he fought Rocky Fielding, etc. How do you think yourself and him being the shorter 168ers, how do you think that kind of dictates how a fight might play out?
I don't know. I mean, that's the interesting thing. I think that I think that it could be a bit of a mirror fight. Although he's orthodox, I'm southpaw, but we're both very elusive, both to like slip and roll shots. So it could come to a bit of a weird fight where we kind of counteract each other. And he's great at what he does, and I like to think I'm at what I do, and we're obviously effective up against bigger men. But if me coming up against someone who's probably slightly shorter, how's that going to fare?
Obviously you said about mirroring each other, but bearing in mind you are a southpaw against an orthodox, you'll be that much closer to each other. Obviously he loves to let rip with those left body shots, right? You'd be closer to him. Would that be something you'd have to actively, you and Tony would be like working on to maybe have a bit more distance from him on that side?
Yeah, it's a hard one really, because he does really like you say, he does like to rip the left body shot in, and obviously I'd be a lot closer to him for that. So other than just keeping the arm tucked in nice, it'd be more of a catch counter thing. But I don't know, it's hard. He's a special talent. Maybe I think I might have an inch or so in height on him, so hopefully I've got that in reach as well, where I could stand that bit further out. Listen, it really doesn't matter, does it? He's come up against bigger fellas than me, and he's ripped away with a body shot, so I'm sure he wouldn't struggle too much to get close to me.
Well, obviously I know you're training like an animal, a gorilla particularly, but you're training like, was you in BXR today? Was you in BXR? Was that live today when I saw on the Instagram, or was that another day?
No, that's an old post, that one.
All right, fair enough. But
pre-lockdown.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, because obviously I know you seem to train like everything. I spoke to Joe Joyce about this the other week, about certain athletes like yourself who seem to just be always training on your different physical assets and attributes, whether it be stamina, strength, conditioning, then let alone the boxing skills. So with the weight, obviously Canelo loves to put little hydration clauses in and stuff. But for yourself, you're pretty comfortable at the weight, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't really. 7 to 8 pounds. That's all I'm going to put on between. The weigh-in till fight. So I'm comfortable with like a £10 weight clause if that's what I want to do. And you got to play to the cards you dealt with him, and he throws a couple of jokers in there sometimes, but maybe he should abide to the rules himself. But I think a rehydration clause wouldn't affect me too much. I'm willing to do what I've got to do to get this fight.
Obviously, everything goes back to that big showdown with Callum Smith. Very tight fight. Obviously frustrating for yourself, the decision of the fight. A lot of people on all sides thought you could have been the winner. How did it become about that Eddie Reynoso had scored the fight in your favour? Was it Tony who first caught wind of that?
No, it was just Eddie Reynoso posted on his story that night that he was watching and I think they tagged it as like future opponent, and then I think that towards the end of the fight they had me winning, so
Yeah.
it was there for like his followers to see. I was tagged in on it on my story and whatnot, so yeah, I mean it was there for people to see, but it's probably long gone now. Some people can dig things up from the past, so I'm sure someone's got it somewhere.
I mean, obviously, your whole set is on trying to land this super fight with Canelo, right? Billy Joe didn't want it, and it's come down to, it seems all the potential opponents are Brits for him. Everyone's a British opponent for some weird reason. Yourself, Billy Joe, Callum, but fingers crossed for yourself, you get the fight. I think it'll be an amazing fight. Bearing in mind that they've had an eye on you with that Callum Smith clash, does that give you some kind of confidence as well to know that you're doing the right thing and you're catching the eye of the trainer of the number one fighter on the planet? Does that give you some kind of, like, I don't know, confidence boost or a recognition of your hard work that you're putting in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because listen, I've not had the smoothest sailing in this game. Do you know what I mean? I've had my ups and downs, and I mean, they're initially training for Billy Joe. They've been training for a southpaw. I'm the next best thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm southpaw as well. So if you've been training for that, then you've got the next best thing to fight there. So on that part, I'm good to go. But yeah, no, I mean, it's nice that the trainer of Canelo was watching and kind of knows. I mean, the fight before that, I'd boxed his sparring partner in Bilal Akaway and beat him in good fashion. Eddie Reynoso was in the corner for that fight. So, yeah, Eddie Reynoso definitely knows who I am and what I'm about.
That's good. I mean, a lot of people might think that's a bad thing because he might have been studying you and have your number as such. But I think it's good the fact that you're on the radar and you're in the mix, because that's the worst place for a boxer to be, is no man's land, right?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, there's people, fighters always say that they took an opponent lightly, and I mean, I'm sure that if this fight did get made, he would look at me as an easier option than one of the champions. Fight now, he's gonna have to be on his A game.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Although we all like to, as fans, we all put Canelo on this pedestal of number 1, 2, or 3. I've got every confidence that you can give him a good run for his money. To be fair, I like that fight. It's a hard fight. I think it's a very hard fight for whoever wins. Obviously, it'll be in the States, and you fought in the States, as you just said. How do you feel about being in the big lights again at Las Vegas or potentially Madison Square?
But listen, I'd love to. I mean, I'd state that after that fight that I was hungry to get back out there, and Vegas especially. I mean, it's the fight weeks are a real special buzz out there.
Yeah.
People just seems like people from around the world just convene on the Vegas Strip and just want to see the best fight. So to be part of the show was great, but to be part of the headline act would be even better. But listen, the thing is with the coronavirus and stuff, there's still big restrictions in place. So I mean, I'm hoping that's not the final stumbling block to stop this dream coming true.
Is that something that's potentially like paramount to it being made, whether there could be a crowd or not? Is your understanding that any potential Canelo fight goes down, crowd or no crowd?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, crowd or no crowd. As long as I can get to the States, I'm willing to fight whether there's a crowd or no crowd.
Has how much pressure, for want of a better word, can you put on Eddie in these circumstances? Eddie,
Not too much, really. Do you know what I mean? He's fought my corner as much as he can. He's messaged Golden Boy and stated that I'm available and I'll do it for X amount. And look, we're there, we're good to go. So the ball's really in their court now. I know they like to play hardball at times and probably want to make people wait and see what they can get the best offer on. So we're just sitting, waiting patiently, training hard and staying ready.
The beautiful thing is, though, whereas normally Canelo would probably hold 10 out of 10 cards in negotiating, at the minute, there is some pressure on DAZN to put their star asset out. And there is pressure on Team Canelo to get him out this year. So I'd like to think that they can't, give you the runaround as much as they normally might be able to.
Yeah, no, I think that's true as well. And I know that, unfortunately, like DAZN was meant to be launching over here for the Billy Joe fight. I know that's been delayed, so I'm sure they want to kind of get that moving on. But whether they'll delay it further, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's also been talks that if you're in America, then there's a bigger chance of getting the fight as the travel restrictions still in place. So just hope that in the coming days things can be eased a bit and we can get a bit of news and show that things are being lifted and we can get out there if possible.
Sure. I mean, in the meantime, you're training are you back at Matchroom Gym?
Yeah, back in there, yeah, full time.
How's everything in camp?
Good. I mean, the few of the boys are on the fight camp shows in the garden, so they're training away hard. They're we're in all the early mornings together, running hard. Good weight sessions, good sprint sessions, good sparring sessions.
Who's your running
lots of Felix Cash, Ted Cheeseman, Martin Ward, Connor Ben, Joe Cordina, they're all there.
Can you I know they say what happens in sparring stays in sparring, but can you share any fitness secrets? Because I know Connor's an animal at cardio, but you're pretty monstrous yourself when it comes to fitness. So who's the first one who says, all right, lads, we've done 10K, let's call it a day now. Like, who's the lazy git in the crew?
No one ever quits on the run.
That's good. That's all I
No one ever quit. But I mean, we've all got our strengths. I mean, there's tomorrow we'll get the triangle, and I mean, I'd say that the best of that is Martin Ward, not for times, but just most consistent.
Okay.
But I think Conor Ben holds a record, or Conor Ben or Felix Cash holds a record on it, and I mean, it's a pretty impressive time.
Fair enough. How is Ted Cheeseman looking prior to his big kickoff for fight camp?
He's looking good. I mean, not to give too much away, but like I've said previously, like you either get Ted Cheeseman who's going to stand there and just absolutely scrap it out, or you get Ted Cheeseman that can box and look really slick and really class. And just depends how Ted feels second to second, really. I mean, he can go in there with a game. I compared Ted to when they talk about Mario Balotelli. And they said Mourinho gave him a 15-minute halftime talk just to not get involved and just be sensible. And then on the 46-minute place, so Ted Cheeseman for you. He could be working on a game plan, but if his head goes in there, then it could be an absolute tear-up. But listen, he's a quality boxer, and I'm hoping that shines through on the night.
Yeah, we all are. I mean, that's funny. That's one of my favourite Jose interviews, actually. He's like, Mario, what can I do? I tell you, Mario. Anyone who ain't seen that, I mean, I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't love or hate Jose anymore, but yeah, that's a great interview. John, can I just get your 2 pence on a couple of the things that are coming up? How do you feel about Dillian and Povetkin, especially now Dillian's parted with Mark?
To be fair, it's a good fight, but coming off the draw with Hunter, I think that Hunter would have been a better fight for Dillian.
Okay.
I mean, not with that. Obviously, he's not got the resume that Povetkin's got, but I just thought the young undefeated fighter. I think Dillian's got way too much for both of them. I just thought it would be a very good scalp. I know it's a risky fight, and that's all Dillian seems to take is risky fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting pretty number one with OBC. I mean, he should just be like resting and enjoying himself, but he keeps taking these risky fights. But I thought Michael Hunter would have been better, but one reason or not, Povetkin. But yeah, still a great fight, going in the right direction. I hope he gets his shot.
Maximum violence at all times with Dillian.
There's never nothing less.
Who do you think? I spoke to Joseph Parker's trainer, Kevin Barry, about both of them having a really good left hook. He said Dillian's is his whole body turns into it and he's got a lot of weight in it. He said Povetkin's is just one that's been perfected from the amateurs, just throwing it time and again. I mean, it's both their money shot, but I mean, Povetkin's still got that bang in him. You know,
Yeah,
I think Dillian will win, but it's not a walk in the park.
no, but I think we saw Povetkin get hurt by Hunter.
Yeah,
He's aging. I just think the time is right for Dillian. I mean, he should have got his crack at the title already, but one reason or not, he's not had it yet. But I think he's going to go out and beat Povetkin in spectacular fashion.
yeah. Well, no. I hope you're right. I think it will be a knockout or a TKO. But it's what do you think? Obviously, I know Mark's bobbing around the Matchroom gym. What do you think of Dillian now going in there with a new trainer? I mean, he's because Dillian's been progressing and learning fight to fight. So even though we're saying Povetkin is probably on the way out, he still hurt Hunter once or twice in that fight. Even though I think it could have been a win for Hunter, he hurt him, and he's still a live dog until he's put down. So new trainer with a veteran opponent. I mean, is it one of them things where Dillian's on his own path now that he's at that kind of stepping up to A level that it's only minimal changes for a trainer now? Well, what's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I just think there was a real good click with him and Mark. I mean, if you look at the Dillian that fought AJ the first time, so the first pro fight they had,
Yeah,
I think you just seen Dillian come on leaps and bounds. And there's fights he's had when you just thought, if this was the Dillian of old, then he might not have been getting through these kind of fights. But I mean, I think you just see, like, even from like the first Chisora fight to the second, the improvement.
yeah.
In Dillian, and I mean, I don't know.
He's got
Obviously,
a lot of durability, hasn't he? And he's got a lot of ring smarts from his progress with Mark. He's got a lot of cute kind of timing, and he might not be winning a round, but he knows how to pace himself now. Like against Parker or Chisora, like he had some difficult moments in there, but he hung in, he bit down, and he got through it. So I just hope that whoever takes the reins has that calming influence that Mark Tibbs had on him.
yeah, I agree. I mean, but it's a shame because they seem like a great partnership. But
Yeah,
I'm sure that whatever he's done for the right reasons. And I mean, I hope he keeps progressing and gets the shot that he deserves.
agreed. Last thing I'll ask you about Fight Camp. Now that it's been confirmed, how do you feel about the rematch of Katie Taylor and Delphine Passoon?
Yeah, fair play for Katie Taylor's taking it and soon coming over. I mean, I didn't actually see the fight at the time, but
But the first fight was a war. It was a
yeah, proper war. Yeah,
Katie came out looking really good early rounds. I think she thought she might have got Passoon out of there quick, but then soon realised that she was in there with a bigger woman who was throwing elbows, heads, chins, knees. A lot of people think that Passoon won, right? I think it was a very tight fight, but another day Passoon could have got DQ'd potentially because she fights like a dog, like Street Fighter. So that ain't an easy fight for Katie.
no, I mean, but I think Katie Taylor's one of them. She'll go away. She's obviously not resting on her laurels. She wants this fight for a reason to prove that she's the champion that she is, and I think she'll make the adjustments, and you'll see an even, I'm not going to say a spectacular finish, but a more decisive win.
Yeah, I think she just didn't pace herself the last time. Plus, there was a lot of pressure coming out of Madison Square, American debut and all that. It was a lot of pressure. So,
Yeah, that's it. And the step up in weight, like you say, she's fighting a bigger woman. She'll be used to that now. I mean, the weight below, she's really cleared up, and
yeah.
it's a shame that she can't get the big fights down there. But fair play to her for stepping up and
Oh,
having
yeah,
this rematch.
it's really buffed up that pay-per-view card now. I mean, that August 22nd card looks fire now. It looks like a good night of boxing. So,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I think we're in for a treat. I mean, all these 50-50 fights going on the shows now. You see it at the weekend. There was good fights on, good fights again in the coming week. So, yeah, we're really lucky now as fans to have boxing back on, but such good high-level fights as well.
John, do you think this might set a new trend going forward? Because Eddie's always saying, and I've heard De La Hoya saying, that a lot of the young prospects or the top prospects price themselves out or negotiate themselves out at big showdowns. Whereas now we've all been starved of sport, life, earnings, etc. Do you think this might kickstart a few people to actually be a bit more proactive with their career choices as regards to like taking fights without every single INT being exactly how they want them in the negotiations?
To an extent, yeah, but I think that we work hard and it's a short enough career as it is. So
Oh, for sure.
the money always needs to be in place, and we need to be getting looked after for what we're putting into this game, training wise, life wise, and fighting wise. I mean, like I say, it is a short career. And listen, you can't buy a house and survive on legacy. You need money in the bank. So
True. That's absolutely
let's not fight for nothing. Let's get
no,
paid
no,
for
for sure.
fighting, and well paid.
Yeah, no, it wasn't so much the financials I was hinting at. It's more the unwillingness to take risks. Because a lot of times there's money on the table allegedly, but fighters aren't ready or can't be ready in time or don't want to fight over there or don't want to do a hydration clause or don't want to fight with certain gloves. Do you see what I'm like? There's a lot of
Yeah,
micro
no, I get it.
stages.
Yeah. Listen,
So
I mean, if you're fighting for the IBF title, then you've got to expect a rehydration clause. But other than that, I mean, the other governing bodies don't state that. Why should we have it?
yeah.
I mean,
So
if you want that in place, then fight for the IBF title.
if God willing, you get the big showdown with Canelo, Mr. Saul Alvarez. That's what we all want. And if for whatever reason that didn't happen, how keen are you to jump back in with Callum?
Very keen. I mean, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a witch hunt towards Callum. I know it's not his fault that
No, 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 no. We know
like
the
like
referees do what they do. The referees are in charge. It's not you guys. You're working. You know, it's nothing
yeah,
personal.
we're working. But my problem is with the judges. I feel like
Yeah,
it was a terrible scoring, and then I believe that I should be sitting in it now as the #1 super middleweight in the world with a nice ring magazine title in the cabinet. But I feel like the judges took that away from me on the night, and I'd like to right that wrong. But I'd like to put it right against Billy Joe, and I'd like to have the chance to fight Caleb Plant and
that'd be another nice fight.
the
John,
likes of Benavidez.
we'll wrap it up. Is there anything you want to shout out, particularly to Golden Boy, Team Canelo, Canelo himself, Eddie Reynoso? Is there any pleas or warning shots for them?
Nah, listen, keep it classy. Listen, if the fight's there, please, I'll jump in a canoe and get over. We'll borrow a speedboat. We'll do what we can to get over. I mean, it's a
Absolutely.
great fight. It's a fight I want to take part in. So please, if there's anything, we're doing all we can our end here. So please just let things get in place and restrictions be lifted so we can make it happen.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, John, it was a pleasure chatting to you, mate, especially in these annoying kind of restrictive times. Thanks for making the time for Pep Talk UK and myself, Ring Raps. We're right behind you, mate. We'll keep an eye on this development, and best of luck with the deal and negotiations, and hopefully you can land that fight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice one.